Alright everyone, it's time for something slightly humorous, and that's that the former Attorney General of Vermont, you'll never guess what his license plate is. It's actually 420. Now apparently he wanted a conservation plate and they wouldn't give it to him for some odd reason. I'm not sure what was up with that. So then he's like, oh, well, I'll take 420 as a vanity plate. And then he comes out when people are like, well, is it really appropriate for you to have this license plate, considering your former position? He's like, well, I don't fucking care what people think. That's actually good on him, I think, and he's keeping it to himself whether he smokes weed. I'm gonna make a wild assumption that unless he's a total ass and he wanted to piss off all the other state workers by having this particular number, he probably tokes up, which is a pretty good indicator of why we decriminalized marijuana in the state. Now, we're still stuck at that same level. It's like on a lot of other issues, we launch ahead and we progress past where 99% of the rest of the country is at. And then we hit a wall and we don't want to go any further into the pool. It's like we're willing to jump in really quick, but we stay in the shallow end sometime. We're doing this on marijuana. We technically did this on gay rights. We had civil unions. It took us a while. We waited sort of to see what Massachusetts was doing on marriage itself. Now, this has happened before to us fairly recently. People talk a big game, and they progress halfway, and people applaud us, but then we don't take it the rest of the way through. So it's going to be a while, I think, before marijuana is legal here, which is funny because we were the first state to sort of take the argument seriously and seriously begin talking about even decriminalizing it. And we did very early on so people could simply possess it. We were one of the early comers to medical. And then as far as recreationally legal marijuana, we stall out. We're going to be like California was for a while there, where they had the ballot initiative, they legalized it, then they said, no, we're going to have it illegal. Then the court said, no, well, you can't make it illegal because the initiative is binding. And it was just a free-for-all. And we shouldn't have that sort of problem within a state like Vermont. We can do better, but it's very funny. I think it's a sign of what is eventually to come, that the 420 license plate is Vermont's former Attorney General's the one pimping it out, basically. He's got like a yellow Jeep or something, which is really funny. Usually you'd think of some stiff working politician. They've got like the black SUV or the really like the boring town car or something, like some old Midwestern mayor. No, he's got like the bright yellow, smiley face Jeep. It's sort of the hippie vehicle anyway. So rather funny. And Sorrell could have done worse, but one thing that is happening with him right now is they're trying to, the fuel industry is trying to go after him because they're claiming he was part of a concerted effort with other state AGs to go after the fuel industry based on basically cooked statistics regarding climate change, to use it to headhunt after the oil industry in order to extract money from them. Possible, I don't know. I like not to get into the climate change bullshit debate, because for me, it's sort of a non-issue. I don't know whether the Attorney Generals got together and said, hey, we're going to screw some big businesses, we're going to basically try to graft money off of them. I don't know whether the fuel industry is just like, hey, we're going to get our revenge on these AGs that published stuff that we're going to call it fake, but it was really real. I don't know, and I don't really care, because if climate change is real, we're probably doomed anyway. So, smile. It's going to, why do you think Sorrell's there driving his happy van? His happy Jeep, and smoking weed probably. He's become a doomsayer, and he's like, oh, I'm just gonna take it easy and be happy for the rest of my life, because my children won't be able to, or something like that. But it is kind of funny. It's funny to see, so if you see the 420 Vermont license plate on a yellow Jeep, just know who's driving the Jeep. It's a hippie trippy Attorney General. Who's being gone after by the fuel lobbyists, I guess. That's about all. Peace out.